Hi folks, how you doing? So yeah, this is the top of my drive. It's nothing fancy. Sun comes up that way, moves around, and then when it gets to the house at about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, this area is in pretty much shade for the rest of the day. So for the last couple of years, I've been experimenting and growing certain things on the top of the drive, just because it's a bit of dead space at home. Um, it's a gravelly old drive, so you can't really dig it up and do anything to it. We don't need a double driveway. It gets used a lot for dumping things ready to take down to the allotment. So if I collect things, I pop them here for a couple of weeks and then take them down to the allotment as my cardboard and stuff. So I thought it'd be quite good to use that space a bit better to grow some more food. So I started last year by growing things in wheelie bins, and they've done all right actually. Last year I had some pretty good pumpkins, which if you follow me on Instagram you've probably seen. This year as well we've got a few more. There's one over there as well, I don't know if you can see it. And as you can see, this is literally just a grow and forget area of the garden. Everything just grows, things get chucked in the way. The potatoes are in there, but they finished a few weeks ago, and I've got some cardboard and paper on top ready to go into the allotment. I've even got some carrots down there. So it's just been a bit of an experiment to basically show that, or to see if, and then to show if you could grow food in really awkward, tight, unusable spaces, I suppose. As I've said, in the summer when the sun's out, it does get sun from morning till about 2. It's not in full shade, but then after 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, it's in mostly shade. I've tried to design the wheelie bin and design it. I haven't designed it. I've got a wheelie bin and I've drilled some holes about a third of the way up, about here on the front, because it's a sloping drive, and I try not to water anything, just to save water and make it less effort. I've watered these wheelie bins about 3 times this summer because it was really hot, and each time was just a 4-gallon watering can poured in, and it was fine because the wheelie bins hold water to about here, and obviously the pumpkins are incredibly thirsty and hungry, so obviously the water holds in there helps them. And as for the fact that they're hungry, over the course of the winter I save all my potato peelings, carrot peelings, and all the compost items from the house. They go into the wheelie bin, they rot down, compost and straw and bark and other things go on top of it, and I basically make a lasagna bed that goes up, and the soil finishes about here. And the reason I did that was simply because it almost gives a bit of protection for the young plant to grow. I could go right to the top, it would take a lot of compost and soil. I like the fact that there was a good foot of protection from wind and frost and everything in the early days, so that's why I did that. So anyway, the plan is today is to just tidy up this area, harvest, and see what I've got. La 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 la. Do 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 do. Right, folks. So what I'm going to do, I'm basically going to chop the pumpkins down now, harvest what's left, put them to one side, and then I'm going to empty the potatoes into there, get my carrots out and stuff, and because then all that compost will be used throughout the garden over the next few weeks. So let's get harvesting. Put that there for now. It's actually surprising just how easy it is to grow things like these in wheelie bins and stuff, and everyone can probably get access to an old broken wheelie bin from somewhere. Even have some tomatoes still. I've been picking those all summer as I walked up the drive. You go, let's move this round a bit so you can get a bit of a better angle at things. Oh, there's the other one. Do you know what? I'm going to need another basket, aren't I? Right, folks, let's start on some potatoes, shall we? Oh. See what we got in there. Oh, and some little ones. There's some little ones. Now these have just been grown in old compost with some of that mulch on top. They were Yukon Gold. Do you know what? I need to bring that basket around. They were Yukon Gold, and like I said, there wasn't a lot really to it other than putting them on some old spent compost and then putting strulch on top. If you haven't seen that strulch stuff, it's basically straw that's been turned into mulch. They look like quite clean potatoes, but I will get them under the tap. A few worms in there. It's always good to see. Obviously, some of you may know I am all about gardening with nature. Oh, there's a big potato there. So the more creepy crawlies I can find, the better. I mean, that's pretty poor to be fair, but like I said, there was nothing. It was a forget harvest. Can I grow? Can I put some potatoes in? Some leftover potatoes in some old pots and see if I get a feed out of them. There's been not a lot of effort. Oh, I'm going to lose them all. I'm going to lose them all. Oh, they can go in there for now. Oh, that's a nice one. Schoolboy error, Ross. Schoolboy error. Here's me trying to do it nice and fancy for the camera. And I'm creating myself more work. I mean, any little Yukon Gold that have been grown, like that one, I might put to one side, put in little pots in the polytunnel, and if I get a plant next season, which I probably will, I can obviously grow that and save on a few seed potatoes. So yeah, I think the whole idea, well, in my head, the whole idea with this was just how lazy can you be and still grow food. I don't think I could have gardened any more lazier with this than I did. Literally putting plants in and forgetting about them unless they looked like they were wilting, and then I'd pour some water in. Nothing got fed other than the compost and the mulch that they were growing with. And there was very little effort put into the season going forward, as in I didn't do any pruning, didn't do any thinning out, Didn't do any extra mulching. All I did was leave the plants to do what they wanted to do, and then watered them, as I said, if they looked like they were dying. And to be fair, it might not be the biggest harvest in the world, but there's still a few days worth of chips there. Oh, I can't remember what's in here. It's got a pumpkin that rooted. But there we go. I did put potatoes in there as well. There we go. Oh, they're a bit better. There's a few chippers in there. It's a couple of green ones, but they'll grow. So what I am thinking about doing next year is putting some potatoes in my flower beds, because I really like the nice white and purple flowers they get on it anyway. They grow pretty well. And then when I dig them up in the autumn, I've got some free potatoes. Everyone's a winner. Yeah, there's quite a few little ones in here, but I'm going to plant them up and see if they'll grow. Oh, I got carrots. I forgot about carrots. My gloves have got wet. Should have used my waterproof ones, but I didn't. So here we go. Let's pull out some carrots. These are, what did I put here? Can't tell. The label's peeled off. Sweet candle. These are sweet candle. So let's go for that big one first. Not so big. Oh, it's better. It's not a bad carrot. Neither's that one. Neither's that one. And these were just put in compost sand, half compost, half sand, seed sown on top, and basically forgotten about them, and put under some tomatoes so they didn't get too hot and they were nice and shaded. There's a few good carrots in there. Wow, these will be awesome. No netting from carrot fly. It's been grown amongst other vegetables. I did grow a bit of coriander, and there is a lavender plant nearby though, so that will help stop the carrot fly finding them. But also, because I wasn't thinning out, wasn't messing around with them, obviously they don't release their scent unless the leaves are broke. Well, I've got to be honest, everyone's a winner at this rate, isn't it? I should go and buy a lottery ticket tonight. Oh, there we go. Jinx myself. Yeah, haha. I'm well impressed with that. So there we go. Carrots at the top of a drive in a bucket works really well. Hi folks, I've just chopped down all the tomatoes. I've saved a few for seeds for next year, because obviously they've grown really well at the top of the drive, and I've harvested quite a few over the last few weeks. So if I can save some of those seeds and hopefully get them to come again next year, the theory is that they enjoy growing in these conditions, so I'll get a better harvest. Hello Mr. Woodlouse. So yeah, I've got 3 more pots of potatoes to harvest, and then I've just got my dried beans. Probably see how many of those I've got. I think I've got quite a few actually. So again, not bad for a lazy drive allotment. Don't know what you want to call it. Let's see what we've got in here. And obviously all this compost is going to get reused next year, so it couldn't be any more sustainable really. Any noticeable big, get my words out, any noticeable big weeds, obviously I throw to one side and just put them in the green bin, or compost them separately. But there's quite a few good potatoes. Right, that's about it for that one. Oh, that's a good one. And so is that. Now these were the ones that were at the back towards the fence, so they actually got less sun, but probably more shade. I wonder if that's helped. I wonder because they've stayed moist, they've fattened up a bit more. Because my plan is to get to a point where I can get decent harvests with minimal effort. Some good worms. There's some really good worms. I know where to come when I want to go fishing. To be fair, I think the stroke has really helped actually keep everything nice and moist. I wouldn't say it was the cheapest mulch to buy, but there was a garden centre with an offer on, 3 bags for a tenner, so I gave it a go. And to be fair, it's pretty good actually, but I reckon you could make it yourself quite easy. You just got to get yourself some bales of straw from a farmer, and a lot of farmers will sell them to you for anywhere between 5 and 8 quid. So a couple of bales shredded up in a tree shredder or something, lawnmower, petrol lawnmower being driven over it, and then left in the corner somewhere, and I reckon you've got strulch. That's my theory behind it anyway. Right folks, other than the beans, that's it for now.